Hello everyone, this is Terrence of the Crypto Stock Investor. So I talk about cryptos, I talk about stocks, and I do like both stocks and cryptos. But in this video, I'm going to talk about Monero. And so what is Monero? Monero is a very tightly privacy-oriented coin. So the receiver and the sender doesn't really know each other unless they physically do the transaction. Even when they physically do the transaction, like say phone to phone, you can't track that. And so it's a system where that transaction is hidden within the network. And so Monero has the best chance for a person not to try to figure out what is going where to whom and why and such. So this is kind of a coin for those people who are into the black market or that gray market, so to speak. And so that's kind of why Monero is that there's a kind of a bad rap with Monero. But the reason why I am for Monero is because of the whole fact that I'm philosophically against government. So government either has to go away or change. Okay, so this is kind of my philosophical rant here, because Monero is able to helps protect a person's rights of at least within the realm of their finances, if they can structure it in a way that the government doesn't even know what you're doing. So you want to get paid in Monero. So if you get paid in Monero and you don't really exist, then you have complete autonomy against the state. And the state won't really know what you're doing unless you actually tell them what you're doing, or you tell someone that what you're doing, and then they report that. And so that's not what I'm doing, because there's a lot of rigmarole for me to get to that, and there's like a lot of work involved with trying to avoid the state, and if you get caught, you get caught. And so I'd rather be free, relatively free right now, in order to spread the message of overall liberty, and then just being in a cage. So it's like, do I be in a cage for years and years and years, or do I be relatively free and just pay the tax? And so that's kind of why I'm very much in favor of Monero, because it's philosophically against, I would say, against government. It doesn't actually point that out necessarily, but it's just a general vibe that it has about Monero. And I know the Dollar Vigilante, which I like to listen to quite a bit, he's very pro Monero because of that reason. And he's very much opposed to the state, like I am. I'm not necessarily opposed to governance necessarily. It depends on how the government or governance is doing, and how it's being done, and how it's handled. I have the problem with the current states in the state of affairs with the particular over 200 different states that the globe has as of right now. And they're mainly called countries, but I really like to call them states, because I like to attach the word state to it, because it points out that the state is very much opposed. They want to control us. Okay, so the powers to be with whatever the power is to be wants to control other human beings, and so Monero helps in that process of the powers to be doesn't control or have that overbearing control over our lives. So that's why I'm very philosophically for Monero, and that's why I'm very philosophically for cryptocurrencies. Now, if I made this shift a few years ago, like this whole philosophical hardline shift, not just kind of floating the idea of liberty oriented, but not like I would be in a much better position right now if I was philosophically, if I actually made the logical connections to my philosophical leanings like 2 or 3 years back instead of last year around this time. And so around this time last year, I was in this philosophical, not meltdown, but essentially a very much a philosophical shift that I have. That's why I'm into cryptocurrencies. And so it's very, very interesting how, and it just kind of happened when like I got into it back in August of last year. I did flirt around with it in regards to the spring kind of, but not really. But yeah, so that's my take on the Monero and the reason why I'm so much philosophically for cryptocurrencies as a whole. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you.